What is up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. A very interesting day here in the markets today. I'm going to be going over my three trades that I took today: two wins, one loss. So let's get straight into it. Top down analysis bias today was bearish. Coming into the day, since the beginning of the week, actually, I wanted to see this 4-hour balanced price range. When I drop to the 4-hour, you guys will see. I want to see price tap into it, and I had a very nice sell idea from there to drop and continue lower. So on the daily time frame, we can see this daily fair value gap over here, some buy side, daily buy side, and a fair value gap over here on the daily. So that's it for the daily. We drop down to the 4-hour. 4-hour chart, as we can see here, here's the 4-hour BPR, or the balanced price range. We had all the way from back here, one shot down with a fair value gap, one shot up with a fair value gap, one shot down with this big fair value gap. So this whole thing right here, the reason I didn't mark this whole fair value gap, and I specifically put this zone on, is this is the balanced price range for these three candles. So I thought that this is a really, really nice zone, coupled with a lot of new week opening gaps here. We can see a cluster of new week opening gaps in this region. So I thought that this price point, or these levels, especially the lower quarter of this BPR, because we have a lot of new week opening gaps, I saw this region as a very, very, very likely price or point for price to reverse down from and target the sell side from the previous days. So that was the bias kind of for the day. Obviously, we hit this. If we drop down to the 1-hour, we hit this BPR and started to reject in around London session. As you can see here, come to New York around this candle, we were already reversed or reacted from the zone that I anticipated from. We had already inversed this 1-hour gap right here. If I zoom in, as you can see, 1-hour gap right here already inversed by the time market opened here. So that was it for the 1-hour. And then obviously we had this sell side here, this sell side here, and then if we drop down, there's going to be a nice sell side over there as well. And then ultimately this sell side, and then target this big fair value gap over here, right here. As we can see here, that price eventually did target. So dropping down to the 15-minute, as we can see here, market opened. Now, a very, very nice thing that I saw or aided my bearish bias is the range of the 415 or 414 to 930 open was, I believe, exactly 120 handles, which if you trade ICT, you know that price, if it's within 120 handles, I believe I said that just yesterday, price will try to reprice to the previous close and fill in the gap. If we are above 120 handles, then price will just most likely continue in the direction it was. Let me try to show you guys what I mean here. Okay, so if we zoom out, this is the regular trading hours. We can see how price today opened here and then dropped and filled the gap. This gap is 120 handles. We can see yesterday how we opened or closed on the previous day here and opened almost 300 handles away. These kind of days, you're going to see a continuation for price, because price is just too bullish and you don't want to be expecting any kind of retracement into the range until later days, which we can see is starting to happen right now, actually. And probably tomorrow is going to continue that. So that's what I mean by the opening range. If it's within 120 handles, if you trade ICT, you know that if it's within 120 handles, then we could expect price within the 30 minutes, the first 30 minutes, to reprice to this, the gap, the range gap. So that's what happened here. Price opened and immediately shot down to fill this gap and took out this near sell side, which is London lows. That was the first target for TPs, but that was no problem because there were more sell sides resting here and here that I was trying to target. We dropped down to the 1 minute. All right, as I said, price opened here, shot down immediately, made the first presented fair value gap over here, the 930 fair value gap. If you trade ICT, you know what that is. It's basically the first fair value gap after 930. So from 931 and on, any fair value gap, the first one, that's the 930 fair value gap, a very important PDRA. So we made that. Price consolidate around it a little bit and then dropped. This was also a 5 minute fair value gap over here. We can see that, yeah. So price just wicked in and then continued lower. Until now, no entry. Didn't take any position. Price dropped. Took out that first sell side that I was talking about here. But there was more sell side to be taken. So after the sell side was taken, I expected some sort of retracement to this range to then continue lower. So that was the first trade. That was why the first trade was taken. As we can see here, 10 a.m. I believe this was, yeah, so 10 a.m. candle right here, 10:01, 10:02. This fair value gap is the silver bullet fair value gap. Okay, so this is the silver bullet fair value gap. Plus, this was a balanced price range. So as I said before, on the 4-hour time frame, we have one drop down, one push up. This is a balanced price range, and this is a silver bullet fair value gap, the silver bullet. So I saw price retrace into it. This is actually, price did tap into it. If we see on the upper left, the wick or the low of this candle comes in at 21,365 and a half. The low of this candle comes in at 21,365 and a quarter. So this was 0.25 lower than this. So it actually tapped into this gap, pushed. When I saw this push and confirmation, I entered around this area. I'll show you guys the executions when I'm done. And I targeted this 1 minute fair value gap over here, quick in and out for a, believe, just under a 2 R, 1.8 R risk to reward, right? So that was the first trade, done, delete that, onto the second. After price tapped into this 1 minute gap, rejected, came down, came back to this silver bullet, pushed up, came back down, and then here it respected the 8:30 or the midnight opening price right here, as you can see. So I like that a lot. And then price pushed and then inversed the silver bullet gap. That's why I took a short here. But looking back, this was just a consolidating market. That price just really didn't know what it wanted to do. And then I took this sell as soon as it inversed, put my stop loss right above the midnight opening price. And also this white box here, I'll tell you guys what this is in a bit, but I put it above these two PDRAs and obviously the new day opening gaps as well. And then I wanted to try to target these lows here, these sell side lows, but obviously got stopped out right away. So that was the second trade. It was a loss. Now the bread and butter trade of today, which made me about $1,100, $1,100, just around there, was the setup. So waited. When I saw this, I knew that price was gonna do some sort of manipulation before it wants to drop. I drew this buy side. We had the 930 fair value gap here. I wanted to see price sweep this buy side, tap into the 930 fair value gap, and then start to drop lower. So price tapped here. I sparkled a little contract to kind of see how price will react. I put my stop loss not above the 930 fair value gap, right above this wick, and I'm glad I did. The reasoning behind is we have to keep in mind that there's a portion of this 5 minute gap still left, and there's buy side, obviously, this wick. So I gave it some room to sweep. I put my stop loss right around here. And I'm very glad, as I said, that I did that, because price did come up, sweep, and then start to break lower. Once it started to break lower, I scaled in, and I'll show you guys my positions in a bit. Scaled in right as soon as it inversed it, and tapped the 930 fair value gap again, dropped, and I remember I scaled in one more here when I saw this 1 minute fair value gap, and then dropped. I scaled in one more here, and then full TP was actually right around here, which wasn't taken. I got stopped out around here. I trailed my stop loss and got stopped out right around here. So yeah, that was my trade. I'm gonna show you guys the executions. All right, so executions, as I said, first trade was this trade over here. This buy entered on this wick 21,381.5 around here. Stop loss was just below here, and then TP was at this wick high, quick about 1 to 1.8 R. Second trade, as I said, was taken here. I entered, got stopped out on this wick. Nothing much to say here. And then this was the main trade of the day. As I said, first entry was here as soon as we tapped into the 930 gap. Right here, so 21,442.5, 21,442.5, which is basically right there on the low of that 930 fair value gap. I trailed it, I scaled in right here, 3 more contracts as soon as we inverse the 930 fair value gap again. I scaled in at 21,437.25, so 21,437.25, so right around here. Boom, scaled in. We dropped. I scaled in one more on this retracement. Most people will be scared to scale on these retracements, but I understand that price has done its job. What it wants to do is taking buy side, and now it wants to just continue lower. So on this order block, as we can see here, I scaled in. So 21,428, 21,428 is right there. Scaled in, one more contract, price dropped one more time on this 1 minute fair value gap. I scaled in one more contract, 21,403.75, 21,403, 21,403, where is that? 21,403.75. Yeah, so I believe I scaled in one more here. I don't know, can't remember, why did I think I might have wanted to scale in here, but I didn't catch it. I don't know, but this, I think, yeah, maybe, I think I didn't catch this. It entered somewhere around here. Okay, but anyway, and then price is consolidated and then broke away. As soon as price broke away and reached this level, this is a breakaway gap. So it's basically the first fair value gap after a consolidation. And if you trade ICT, you know that a breakaway gap, you want to, if you're heavy on your bias, or if price is heavy with the direction that you think it's going to go to, you want to see these breakaway gaps stay open. So with this breakaway gap, I knew that price is not going to come back to it, or I would prefer. So I scaled in one last time on this gap, this lower gap, and also this white box. So what this white box is, it's basically the new PD area that ICT has introduced, this 2025 mentorship. So what it is basically is the 12 to 12:30 a.m. range. So from here, where is it? So from here to 12:30, right here, this range, right? It's basically the first PD array that kind of jumps out to you, and you want to mark that and extend it throughout the day. So it's this, for me, it was this for value gap. And then if we extend it to the day, we can see how price here respects it. And then here respected, and then here as well. So when we broke and we made this value gap with this breakaway gap, I saw this as a beautiful place to scale in one more time. My scale actually was 21,395.5, so 21,395.5. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted a very nice fill on this, so I entered at the top of this second fair value gap, and I loved, you can see how the bodies are respecting this this new 2025 PD area that ICT has introduced. So price then drops, and the rest is history. Full TP was actually right around here. Would have made about 1500 or 14 something. I think it was 1550. But price swept this sell side, came back up. I tried my stop loss to around here, which is 1100, and I got stopped out here. And then price just after that continued lower in the PM session late. Yeah, and it tapped into actually this 4-hour BPR, which is another very important P area that I'm gonna have to look out for. Let me take out my executions. Okay. Yeah, so this is another very important P area to look out for tomorrow on Friday. You can see here, one push down, one push up. This is a BPR, very important range. If we break this, then I expect price to lower, to push lower tomorrow, but we're gonna have to see. So yeah, that was today's trade recaps. 3 trades, 2 wins, 1 loss. Very nice, very important day to study. A lot of nice. It was hard price action, especially in the morning, beginning of the AM session. But later, price did clean up and show its way that it wants to drop lower. Very nice day. A lot to learn from, as I said. Hope you guys enjoyed this trade recap. If you guys want more daily, weekly analysis like this, even trade recaps, Discord is in the bio or description. Join it. Also follow me on Twitter, also in the description. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe and happy trading.